More than 95% of the chenpi, aged tangerine peel, on the market is fake. Even medicinal brands sell fake chenpi. They go straight to beverage factories to haul peel away, then soak it in dark liquid and sell it to you for 3 or 5,000 yuan. Today I'm going to explain clearly how this chenpi is faked. The first way is by faking the raw material used for chenpi. Mandarins, right? There are also shatong mandarins, ugly mandarins, and aura mandarins. They're all citrus fruit. But only the kind of mandarin tree known as the chachi mandarin produces fruit whose peel, after it is picked, can be called chenpi. Look at this fruit peel. You can't see any oil glands at all, can you? It's very obvious. Look at real chenpi. Its oil glands are very dense. Even if it hasn't been fully dried yet, they are still very dense. You can tell just by looking. Chenpi is said to be good for the throat, right? And it's said to reduce internal heat. But if what you're drinking is ordinary fruit peel, not only will it not reduce that heat, it may even make it worse. If you pay the price of real chenpi, but what you buy is ordinary fruit peel, then you've really been taken for a fool. The second kind of fraud is particularly hard to identify: faking the place of origin. In tea-producing places such as Yunnan and Guangxi, there is more available land, and labor costs are also relatively low. If they grow large quantities of citrus for chenpi, it may also be the chachi variety, but the soil there is different from the local soil in Xinhui. The resulting flavor and what they claim as its effects are different as well. The third kind is faking the age, faking the number of years. This is extremely common. On the market, everything is casually labeled as 20-year-old or 30-year-old aged chenpi. How could there be that much old stock? In 1996 in Xinhui, a disease outbreak wiped out the local crop. All the citrus trees used for chenpi were cut down. It was not until the year 2000, after those fruit trees were replanted, that new peel began to appear again. So how could chenpi more than 20 years old be everywhere on the streets? There are two ways to artificially make it look old. The first is soaking it in dark liquid. They soak it in dark pu'er tea liquid and then dry it. The second method, if they want a darker color, is to use high heat and high humidity to make it ferment, so the color becomes darker. This artificially aged chenpi can have mixed, strange flavors or even no aroma at all. It may have an odd smell. So chenpi flavoring is added to cover up that strange odor. This kind of artificially aged peel cannot naturally produce the plum fragrance and mint-like finish. They can only add a laurel-type flavoring to make people feel as if it were old chenpi. But to identify genuinely aged chenpi, there is one very simple method. For example, a piece of chenpi aged for about 3 years may weigh around 10 grams. But after 20 years, its weight can decrease by about 70%. It may weigh less than 3 grams. Look at old chenpi. The inner pith gradually falls away, and then it becomes thinner and lighter, like paper. They can make the color darker, but they cannot fake that natural loss of weight. Fake chenpi releases that kind of color when soaked. At first, the color leaches out and looks reddish. By the second infusion, there is almost no color left. When you drink it, the liquor is thin and watery. With genuine finished chenpi, after you steep it, the liquor is clear, golden and bright, like peanut oil, with a kind of rich body that you can sense even if you can't literally see it. Besides the things I've mentioned, there are also fallen fruits and low-grade peel sold online. The listed price may be 3,000 yuan, but you may buy it for 200. Do you think you found an incredible bargain? In reality, you've fallen into a trap. Is a waxing facility. Waxing! A place where fruit is polished and waxed to make it look better. Let me show you. See it? There you go. This is the whole process. Watch carefully. Pay close attention. Whether it's supermarkets or offline farmers markets, if the fruit isn't being sold right at the place where it was grown, it has to be treated like this. See? Clean or not, no matter how much is done to it, go ahead and eat it. So delicious, right? There are still brushes inside. They just keep brushing it. Keep moving forward. Over here, everything is being dried. See it? Yes, it's all being dried. This machine must be about 40 meters long. This is the most direct look at the process. There. The fruit from this processing plant sure looks good. See it? Over there, it's secretly coming out. This has already been washed clean. Once it's washed, it looks good. There, nice and clean.
Go ahead and eat it. Eat more.
Chinese people have a certain skill. The whole world has to give them credit for this. What is it? Making fakes. In the past, it was counterfeit money. Now everything is paid for by mobile phone. Even thieves are out of work. And counterfeit money has no market anymore, so what do they do now? They fake everything. To put it simply, clothing, food, housing, and transportation, eating, drinking, and everything else. As long as you can think of it, they can make a fake version for you. This is what food is like nowadays. Look at these grapes. They look pretty good, right? But then we took them and used this kind of product specifically for washing fruits and vegetables. Look. The water inside immediately turned green. What the hell is this? Look, the water has already turned green. It's all so-called high-tech stuff. It's all pesticides. Look at these grapes. Damn, they haven't gone bad at all. Even now they're still like this. Look at the surface. It's still this same color. I really can't believe it. Damn, it's all so-called high-tech stuff. See this? Do you know what this is? This is the soy milk we drink for breakfast. Which part is made from soybeans and which part is actually ground from soybeans? Here, look. Add a little of this stuff and it immediately changes color. See it? It's changing color right away. Then add a little white sugar later, throw in some other random stuff and take a look. Add a little white sugar and after a while it'll be sweet. Go ahead and drink it. Now drink it. Even 3 big pots of this soy milk aren't enough to sell. 1 yuan a cup. Oranges are made yellow like this. I didn't even know oranges were made yellow this way. What is this stuff? This one is obviously very large, right? This one has a layer from the growth-promoting chemical on it. This one hasn't had that chemical applied. This one has a thin stem, while this one has a thick stem, right? The thick stem feels sticky when you touch it, and the stem is a little dark. This is from applying that chemical, that junk growth agent. It's all over this stem. Or this may have some kind of fruit expanding agent on it. Then it grows very quickly. And this pear? It grows extremely large, and apparently that's considered fine. Some fruit growers, in order to get a better price, apply things to the fruit stems of lychees, using growth-promoting agents and so-called technology. The fruit will quickly grow and ripen there. It can reach the market earlier and sell for a better price. Using this kind of so-called technological trickery to damage people's bodies is wrong and unacceptable. You spray herbicide on the ground, the fruit is on the tree, and then you put growth agents on it? Do you think eating that will be healthy? It won't be healthy. Seriously, all I can do is let out a long sigh. Look at what this guy is doing. Is this meat? Is this beef? Why is it such a huge piece? Oh my God. After seeing this, I really won't dare eat it anymore. This is artificial beef. It's terrifying. I just want to ask whether this is reconstituted meat. Is it reconstituted? Reconstituted? Look at this shop. Is it reconstituted? I just want to ask whether this is reconstituted meat. Isn't it? All right, now the test begins. Look at that fake beef. When it is grilled, it forms blisters. See that? This is how you can tell them apart. With real beef, when you grill it, you can clearly see the fat coming out. Look at this one. This is reconstituted. So why does it form blisters? Because there is glue-like material in it. Maybe it also contains a lot of moisture. Now look at that other piece of meat. When real beef is grilled, you can see meat fibers inside, while the fake one turns white like a sheet of paper. Let me show you. Look, all of this has been injected with glue-like material. Once it has been processed, the glue comes oozing out from here. Look, this is where it was injected. Look at this glue-like material. These merchants have no conscience at all. Even with gloves on, you can barely see clearly anymore because of all this stuff. Can this still be eaten? How could they put this much glue in it? The glue inside every piece is oozing out. Someone who didn't know better might think it was some kind of crunchy cartilage. They're all like this, look. Every piece is like this. The glue has been injected inside. Wait until it all oozes out and take a look. How could anyone still eat something like this? Throw it away immediately. Is everything being faked these days? Today my daughter wanted rice, so I thought I'd buy her a few chicken drumsticks to stir-fry and eat with the rice. But look at these drumsticks. How could they be fake? The skin and the meat both look like real chicken. And the shape is also exactly like a chicken drumstick. But when you eat it, it doesn't taste like chicken. Look at it. It feels like some kind of reconstituted product, something fake. There isn't even a little bit of real meat flavor when you eat it. But the shape is clearly a chicken drumstick. Even the bone is a chicken bone. Look at the meat. You can even see blood vessels inside. Everything looks the same, but when you eat it, it doesn't taste like a chicken drumstick. What do you think is going on? These days, people seem to be short of everything. You want to eat a chicken drumstick, but you can't even be sure it's real. I was afraid of buying a fake one, so I specifically went to a supermarket to buy it. It was from the supermarket downstairs. Once a supermarket starts selling fake products, I believe your business won't stay good for long. I've eaten it this time, but I won't go back and buy it again. Everyone, be more careful. If you're doing business, you can't deceive ordinary people, right? Good luck to all of us. Goodbye. Let me show you how these unscrupulous merchants mislead people. What? Is this supposed to be a pork elbow? Isn't this just a ham sausage? In the seller's promotional video, it looks this big, like one whole pork elbow after another. But what arrives in our hands looks like this. The ingredient list says pork skin and chicken. A so-called pork elbow is actually made with chicken. Let me open it up and have a look. Everyone, look. There's even glue-like material along the side. Is this pork skin? Is this pork skin? Let's cut it open and see. Everyone, look. Why is there so much glue-like material inside? It smells strongly of braised meat flavoring. The meat doesn't taste like meat. The ham doesn't taste like ham. What does this have to do with a pork elbow? It's basically pork skin wrapped around a ham sausage. This so-called pork elbow is complete false advertising. It's the classic bait and switch. In the promotional video, it looks like one huge whole pork elbow. But what is this thing that actually arrives? I want to ask the seller, would you dare eat this yourself? And I also want to ask the platform, why can a product like this be openly listed and sold? These are fake ribs bought online. Look. People really don't know what to believe anymore. Look at this. You pull it and it just comes apart. See? This is the first time I've run into something like this. What kind of ribs are these? Oh my God, this stuff is way too fake. I can hardly believe it. Look at this. This is way too fake. These are supposed to be ribs? Oh my God, I don't even dare eat this anymore. Look, this is all low-quality junk. Did you order lamb skewers or sheep urine skewers? What does sheep urine actually? Maybe you've really eaten more of it than you realize. Good lamb skewers are usually made from fresh lamb. Add 2 eggs, a little starch, and a little salt, then add some onion and other seasonings, right? Mix everything evenly, then let it sit for 2 hours. Thread it onto skewers and grill it over charcoal. It smells incredible. You all love eating it. Of course, I love it too. But good ingredients are expensive. Once something becomes expensive, there is room in the middle for people to squeeze out extra profit. That attracts a lot of clever merchants who start doing things to the product. The lamb skewers you normally eat are often made from frozen lamb. After lamb has been frozen for a long time, it inevitably loses some of its original flavor, right? So they add a little lamb flavoring and some lamb fat. On the one hand, it can cover up the smell of the meat itself, in case the meat has some other odor, right? On the other hand, it can give off a very tempting lamb aroma. Of course, even using extremely old frozen lamb could still be considered the better option. Whether frozen or fresh, at least it's still lamb, right? But some people use cat meat, mink meat, or duck meat. I especially don't understand this. They take cat meat, mink meat, or duck meat and soak it in sheep urine. Some also use sheep blood. Then they make a large basin of it and soak it for 72 hours, probably so the flavor can penetrate. When threading the skewers, they add sheep fat, then grill them. There. Now the smell seems right. And besides cat meat and mink meat, there can even be rat meat. Where I'm from, we call rats hause, so you really have to keep your eyes open because once you're eating this kind of thing, it is very hard to tell the difference. These so-called sheep urine skewers really do have a strong smell. But I don't know about the human smell. If the lamb smell gets stronger, does the human smell get stronger too?
I'm talking to the owner making these sheep urine skewers. Would you eat your own lamb skewers?
The roasted lamb leg you're eating could actually be fox meat. Is that even possible? After eating lamb for so many years, could people really fail to recognize real lamb? But in fact, up to now, there really haven't been many people reporting it. After all, most people have never actually eaten fox meat. And if they add some so-called technological tricks and processing, you really may not be able to tell the difference. No wonder some whole roasted sheep sold outside cost only 199 yuan. The key is that they're also very small. Could those be made from this kind of thing too? You fool me and I fool the next person. Just look at this lousy door.
It only costs you 180 yuan.
The outside looks smooth, but inside it's all scraps and residue. 3 jin of material. 2 jin of it is junk. They take advantage of you for being foolish because you only look at the unit price when buying things. The boss makes money and laughs all the way while the installation crew puts it in your home. And you still say the quality is excellent. Later, when there's a problem, you look for the manufacturer and call after-sales service. Then after-sales service tells you who told you to be blind when you bought it. Let me ask everyone, have you ever seen this kind of thing in your home? A foam-filled door? Look at this foam. This was taken out from the filling inside the door. This seller actually told me this was a solid wood door. He said this paper skin is made from trees, so that means it's solid wood. Then this part here is solid wood too. Put those together, and he calls it a solid wood door. My God.
Tell me, does this person have any conscience? Isn't the layered texture very obvious? Whose chicken looks like this? Artificial chicken meat. They say what's being sold at the market is all artificial chicken meat, all of it. Look, the layers are extremely obvious. See it, right? The layered texture is very obvious. They're all like this, look. Once it thaws, it looks like this. You can't eat this stuff. When you go to the supermarket to buy chicken drumsticks, don't buy this kind of frozen drumstick. These are all vacuum treated, and what they've pumped into them is water. Look. I bought this chicken drumstick at a frozen food store today. It's been injected with water. Just touch it lightly and look, the meat completely falls apart. Let me show everyone this water-injected chicken leg meat. I'll tear it open directly. Inside the chicken, it's all like this. The whole piece is full of water. Their conscience has been fed to the dogs. Now look at the next thing. Growing this requires a lot of pesticides. This little bottle is a product called Chow On Ning. It's an herbicide. Now look at this. Discarded pesticide packaging. They just throw it away like this. That includes the white bottles. They're all pesticide containers. And their greenhouse is right next to this area. If it rains, will this have an impact? You tell me. Plant hormones, insecticides, glyphosate herbicide. Just counting casually, there are at least 20 or 30 different groups of products. Come over here, there's more. There's another pile here too. What is this? Dichlorvos? Fruit expanding agents. All kinds of insecticides. And look here, and here. This entire drainage ditch comes from just one orchard, and there are already this many bottles. Most people would be shocked if they saw a scene like this, but honestly, I've already seen so much of it that I've become numb. Our use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers is said here to account for half of the world's consumption. Is it a glue cabinet or an iron cabinet? I kept wondering why the wall in my home was always peeling, and even the reinforcing bars were exposed. This time, guess what happened? I pinched it with my hand and I could actually squeeze it. At least now I know what it is. If I didn't, I might have thought I had some kind of superhuman arm. It looks like reinforcing steel, but In reality, it's soft. This is unbelievably deceptive.
Let's test it. This fire extinguisher was bought on Pinduoduo for a little over 30 yuan. Can it actually put out a fire normally? For safety, we prepared 2 other ordinary fire extinguishers during the test. According to the proper instructions for using a dry powder fire extinguisher, before using it, we first turn it upside down and back up and shake it 2 or 3 times to loosen the dry powder inside. Then we pull out the safety pin. One hand holds the handle, while the other holds the hose and nozzle. When putting out a fire, we must stand upwind, then aim at the base of the fire and press down the lever. Go! Aim at the base of the fire, sweep from side to side. Look, the extinguisher has already finished discharging, but the fire hasn't gone out at all. So this fire extinguisher is fake. This is a counterfeit product. This is a typical example of a fake fire extinguisher.
After opening the package, first check the exterior. From the outside, nothing seems obviously wrong. Only this valve head looks a lot like plastic. First, let's see whether the pressure gauge is fake. Wow, it really is fake. Let's scrape it with a knife and check what the valve head is made of. Wow, it's actually plastic. That's extremely dangerous. Even the valve core is plastic. So what is this 3C certification supposed to mean? It's just a trick to fool the eye. This fire extinguisher's pressure gauge really goes beyond what I imagined. Look, it's solid. See that? A fake fire extinguisher. 1, 2, 3. This is Korean ginseng. This one has been pressed together. Doesn't it look very thick and large? Let's take a closer look. It looks like there are 2 roots joined together, right? Look, there's a crack running through the middle here. That shows that 2 pieces were joined together and then compressed. The ginseng crown on this side has been cut off. Normally, if there were 2 roots, there should be 2 crowns. But with this one, you can't see that. This one is actually made from 3 roots. Look, 1 root, 2 roots, 3 roots. 3 roots have been turned into 1. Then it looks like a large grade piece. I don't know who first came up with this trick. Anyway, for as long as I can remember, it has always existed. With genuine Korean ginseng, it should look like this. It's very light. This one here is old stock. This is one I've kept myself for a long time. Because it has been stored for 8 years, it has started to turn dark from the inside. So if you're buying Korean ginseng, this is the kind you should look for. The one I have here is the largest grade. It has only 1 ginseng crown. Now look at this other ginseng root. It has been pieced together. This one has been pieced together too because its crown is extremely small. That's because it hasn't grown for enough years. And a genuine ginseng root needs enough time to fully develop, otherwise its shape will be less complete. If we're talking about genuine products, saffron and safflower can still be distinguished at a glance. This one is yellow with a pinkish tint. This one is a pure deep red. Recently, there's been a lot of arguing in the market over these products. I don't know when it will stop. It seems like it may be calming down. But this product has become very popular recently. This costs 30 yuan per gram. Women usually only steep about this much each time. The water it produces should be golden yellow. A lot of people end up consuming this other kind of product because after it has been dyed, it can be made to look like the real thing. The color looks very vivid. A bottle like this contains only 5 grams. So in drinking this, we need to pay attention. The color of the water after steeping should definitely be golden yellow. This one costs 30 yuan per gram, while the cheap kind used for soaking feet costs about 100 yuan per jin. This is another medicinal product. Guizhou also grows this kind of herb. This one is a little ridiculous. It costs only 20 or 30 yuan per jin. Look at its leaf. It has this kind of irregular vein pattern. This is the seed or planting material used for this lower grade product. But as I've said, different soil and water produce different medicinal herbs. The Guizhou grown version just doesn't have the same quality no matter how it is grown. If you buy this kind and steep it, you barely get anything worthwhile out of it. This one is the Gansu grown product. Although it has already been cut, I've recently sold out of the whole uncut pieces. You can see that the leaf blade here is rounded. And then, many people say the root contains no active components. Actually, that's not the case. The root and leaves both contain components.
If you're choosing this product, just look for the place of origin. Dingxi, Gansu. Other places can't produce exactly the same kind. I have to talk again about Baiji, Angelica dehurica.
Because when I go to the vegetable market, out of 10 shops that sell spices and medicinal ingredients, 9 are selling this kind that has been sulfur fumigated. The natural product isn't this white. Look, this one feels very smooth, and it even leaves some powder on your hand, right? Baiji that hasn't been sulfur fumigated looks like this, right? The color is much more natural. Some people think Baiji with this natural color is an inferior or defective product. But in fact, this is its real natural color. Alright. The same goes for Fang Feng, Sapochnikovia root. Don't dismiss it just because it's inexpensive. I have 3 kinds here. This one is darker in color. And there's this one too, which looks more yellow. At first glance, everyone thinks the yellow one looks better, right? I'm telling you, this color comes from sulfur fumigation. That's why it looks so yellow. Genuine, normally processed Fang Feng should look more like this. It shouldn't be that bright yellow. This other one may simply be younger and not old enough. In fact, this herb itself is inexpensive, only a little over 10 yuan per jin. But sulfur fumigated products have a prettier color, so they are easier to sell. Look how attractive that color is. And some of this color has been altered again, right? Some pieces in the middle have also been treated. So when it comes to color, this is what the natural color of Chinese medicinal herbs should look like. Now, a whole bag of fake medicinal herbs. The first jar contains fake poria. If you can scrape powder off it with your fingernail like this, and you can snap it apart, then cassava may be being passed off as poria. Genuine poria is hard to scrape and cannot be easily snapped apart. The second jar contains fake roses. If the flower receptacle is pointed like this, it may be Chinese rose being passed off as medicinal rose. A genuine rose has a more rounded receptacle. The third jar contains fake dangui, Chinese angelica. If it has a particularly sharp, irritating smell, it may be sulfur fumigated duhuo being passed off as dangui. The fourth jar is another treated duhuo product. The oil rings in duhuo are generally relatively faint, while genuine dangui has much more obvious oil rings. The fifth jar contains fake pangdahai, malva nut. It is made by using the green fruit of olives as a substitute. When you cut it open, the middle contains solid material. Genuine pangdahai, when cut open, should have a hollow structure in the middle. The sixth jar contains fake swanzaoren, sour jujube seed. It is made by using dyed lentils as a substitute. Rub it in your hand and it quickly breaks down. The seventh jar contains another type of jujube-like seed. It is sometimes also used to imitate swanzaoren. But this substitute has spots on the seed coat. Genuine swanzaoren does not crumble when rubbed by hand, and it has no such spots. And then there's so-called black-hearted cotton. It's extremely dirty. A lot of it is like this. The slightly better kind is this white material. These samples all came from stuffed toys taken out of claw machines. If children are holding and playing with this every day, how dangerous is that? Looking back at everything shown in today's video, what makes these cases so disturbing is not simply the possibility of paying for a low-quality or counterfeit product. The greater concern is that fake products can appear in food, herbal medicines, household goods, and even safety equipment, things that may directly affect people's health and personal safety. These stories are also an important reminder for consumers to be more cautious when something is unusually cheap or advertised as being far better than it realistically should be. Checking the source of a product, reading its ingredients carefully, and buying from trustworthy sellers can sometimes make a significant difference. Have you ever bought something that made you suspect it was fake or seriously different from what was advertised? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may help other viewers become more careful and informed. Thank you very much for watching until the end. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to the channel and stay with us for more stories and updates. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.